Welcome to The Patty Show. My name is Patty Setiatti, and in this podcast, we'll explore the crossing point of the three P's: passion, pleasure, and positivity, and how they can lead you to your own personal paradise. We'll chat with inspiring guests, share practical tips, and dive into stories that will empower you to live your best life. Let's get the Patty Party started. Welcome back to The Patty Show, everybody. Woo! Oh, thank you, studio audience. Oh my goodness, studio audience is passionate today. Oh my goodness, our little buddy. Thank you. We have a guest here that knows how to handle our buddy Cody. Before we get to our guest, thank you again, my man. Welcome back, y'all. We're gonna focus on passion today, how it drives us and fuels our sense of purpose. You know, purpose, passion, all the P's in life. That's the Patty Show.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Patty Show, previous episode with my brother Chris, inspiring Indonesian brother, man. He's doing amazing things with everything that he's doing in tech. Passionate young man in a wheelchair. He's inspiring them all. Arigato to you, my brother. We're gonna have a fun time in Japan one day.
Ooh,
Yeah, he loves Japan.
So
I know,
bad.
bro. Everyone's going to Japan. Who wants to sponsor the Patty Show in Japan? Arigato, arigato, arigato.
I'll be there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he will be there because my guest today. Here's my intro. Joining me today is the dog loving. How
did you tell?
Oh, look at that dog loving right there. Passionate actor, director, producer. He does it all. And of course, fellow podcast host. Oh man, he's full of Christmas cheer. Oh, tease it a little bit. Our, short time working together at Squid Games was a true blessing. Feels like forever, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
It was nothing short of fun, my man. Give it up for my Australian cousin, Hayden over here. Woo! Arigato.
Give it up, Cody.
Yeah, Cody's go. Oh God, Cody's going crazy.
Give it up, Cody.
Thanks for coming to the Patty Show, bro.
me, brother.
Appreciate you, my man.
I love your pup.
Thank you, my man.
This is such a beautiful
he's
young man. What a
Yes.
well-behaved gentleman.
You have a lot of patience, man. He's super energetic right now. But yeah, man, if you could give a little self-intro, man, background.
Of course, yeah.
And then, of course, how we met, my
Yes,
man.
yeah,
The floor is yours.
So thanks for having me on the
course,
Patty Show.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Such a good vibe. I know some of the faces on the previous episodes.
A lot. Yeah, a lot of
Really cool to see some of the other people I've met here in LA on your
Yes,
show.
sir. Yes, sir.
And nothing but positivity, good
Mhm.
vibes, passion. I'm stoked to be here. And I am from Australia. Like
Yes, you can tell from the beautiful voice.
Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of people that sound like me across the Pacific.
for real, a lot.
So if you want to hear it a bit more, go over the ditch.
Yes, of course. Go over the ditch.
Yeah.
I'm learning new lingo.
Oh,
Go over the ditch.
yeah, over the ditch. Yeah.
See, there's all the
big
lingo,
Pacific
man.
ditch.
There we go. See, look at that.
Yeah, so I've been living in LA for about 3 years now.
Wow, bro.
Yeah,
It's been flying by then.
it has been flying by.
Oh my God.
LA's a tough place to make it in this world, you know? It's we can get into that.
Yeah, definitely. It's a little ruthless. I'll
It's
tell you that
struggle,
much.
Like coming from Australia to here, there's definitely a big old learning curve and some cultural changes and things that I've had to adapt to. So that's been fun. I'm super passionate about animals.
Yes, as you can tell. This wasn't like a
crocodile.
we didn't just pay Cody to come in as an actor, right? We paid Cody.
Yeah.
Animal rights. Okay,
Yes,
so
that's it.
pay your
And
pets.
specifically passionate about dogs.
Yes.
So thank you for bringing Cody
Of
out.
course, my man. Of course.
I
Thanks for
hope
taking
he's-
care of him.
Yeah, I hope he has a good time in this podcast
I think
as
you'll have
well.
a fun time
Hey,
because
little pal.
speaking of your passion with pets and everything,
Yeah.
you do volunteer for a
Yeah, I
shelter?
volunteer for a local LA county shelter.
Nice. What's their name if you want to shout
It's
them out?
West LA Animal Shelter.
West LA. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, the people there do such amazing work, dude. Like, there are some volunteers who are there 7 days a week. I'm not kidding. And these are volunteers.
Like straight up just volunteer.
Yep.
Wow.
They don't
7
get
days.
paid. They are just so passionate about helping these animals who can't help themselves.
Wow.
And it's really inspiring, dude.
my God.
Like, I'm there, I try and get there once or twice a week.
Mm.
Some weeks are busier than others and I can't make it in, but these people are there every freaking day.
Man.
And it's really impressive, the work they do. And, it's stressful for them at times because, dogs can be stressful, but I assume that they leave there feeling better.
More refueled. in a way.
Yeah, totally. So I've been at that shelter for about a bit over a year now.
And how did you find them, by the way?
I just I knew it's something I wanted to do for a long time. And so I just Googled best ways to get involved. And there's, a bunch of rescues and shelters out there. This one is a government one. So it's slightly different to private, like shelters and rescues and things like that. So it has some drawbacks and some benefits for that. But it, all over, the goal is the same. It would be great if shelters didn't exist. It'd be freaking awesome if every dog and every cat had a home to be loved. That'd be excellent. If we were out of jobs, that'd be excellent for all these cute little creatures.
Yeah, it's really cool. Go crazy over it.
All these little crocodilians. Yeah, so that's something I've been so stoked and proud to be a part of for the last year or so, and I had been meaning to do it for so long, but life gets in the way, and I think that's some people are in stages of their life where they don't have the capacity to do some things that they want to do, and that's fine. That's okay. And there will be periods of your life where maybe there's some more time you can commit to helping your community in some way, shape, or form, and I would highly recommend it to anyone thinking about it. And it's been of such immense value, dude. Wow. Like, I go to help the dogs, but I'm not sure if they help me more or I help them more, in the sense that I leave and I feel so rejuvenated, And
you're ready for the next day to see them again.
Yeah, it kind of lingers with me for like probably a couple of hours to days, dude. Sometimes I'm like, I get just so jazzed up to help these little helpless creatures, just get them out and running around, and God, they love leaving their little kennels, dude. They love it. If you play with them, they love it. Take them for a walk, they love it.
And when you were in Australia, did you have any pets too then, or?
Yeah, I actually grew up with a golden retriever.
Oh, I love golden retrievers, bro. Oh my goodness. I love you, Cody, but they're like 5 times the size. They're like.
Did you hear me? I would never shade a spaniel poodle cross.
Yeah, that's a split right there. Exactly. Golden retriever, and then
beautiful golden, named Maggie, and then we had a chocolate lab named Marley.
Everybody over there.
Yeah.
Diversity.
That's
what we do here. Yeah. Okay, you see the diversity here.
Cousins, we got this.
Cousins right here, of course.
We got species.
Yeah, of course. But before this, I was trying to show him this little thing for Cody's birthday, and at first I said gender reveal, but then I didn't realize it was species reveal.
Species. Well, I guess what would you call it?
I was gonna say race reveal. I'm like, I don't know if you can do that nowadays. To be honest,
it's like, wait, what's the word? Oh my God.
I guess.
What
type reveal? I don't know.
I cannot put it on the comment.
Right, we don't want to get canceled, y'all. Okay, we just started the episode.
There's legitimately a word for it. I'm not smart enough to think of it off the top of my head. Apparently,
it's hard, man. It's hard. But you are smart to have your own podcast, though. Man.
Well, you say that.
Shout out to the Blondies out there. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, thank you, but the Blondies is so stupid and so silly. Fun. You don't really have to have a brain to be on the Blondies.
But that's what it's all about. Sometimes you need to have a good vibe. I know you guys are allergic to politics, just like the Patty Show.
Boom.
But, we should throw our eggs at the politics. We don't need to worry about that, y'all. Just good vibes over here.
Hey, if you want to worry about it, there's avenues for
that. There is, of course, but not for us. I can't.
We're chilling.
Yeah, the news cycle is too stressful right now. Shout out to everyone dealing with all that stuff. Yeah. All the blessings,
Hope you find support if you need it.
Of course. Support and flowers. And speaking of, this is actually the flower section of the Patty Show. Thank you. Theater right there.
It's the flower section.
Lion King. Bro, this is my flowers too, man. Okay. Shout out to you, bro, bringing the good energy to the shelters, man. I love seeing his videos. You guys got to see all the videos, the wholesomeness, bro. It's like, I'm sure you've seen people volunteer, when they record videos. No shade to anyone out there, some influencers, whatever. You can tell it's fake. But you know how it is, bro. You're an actor. You know how it is, bro. We can tell.
Right.
But bro, like you're genuine joy. I remember the first time I seen you actually start posting that stuff and everything. I'm like, this brother got it, man. Like the joy. And then the first time I ever met you too, it was just like, I was like, Australian. Like, I'm Indonesian. We're cousins.
Yeah, it's right there.
Like the radiant energy, bro. Like you just golden retriever energy. Not just the beautiful hair, but like you bring it to everyone around you, and everyone that I asked that knows you is like, he's like,
I appreciate that, man. That's so interesting you bring that up, because we were on a job together, Squid Games, where we were fortunate enough to hang out for hours every day, going through and hosting this really cool experience in at the heart of LA here. And you are such a, like, I mean, I have no doubt everyone who knows you would say the same thing, but you are just so like full of light, and that's really cool to see. It's interesting because that was during that period of working there was the hardest time of my entire life.
Really?
So obviously we haven't really seen each other since then.
Yeah, almost over a year and a half or something we were talking about.
Yeah. So I was going through some heavy stuff during that time, and the cool thing was I could go to work and be around really positive people. But some days were harder than others.
Definitely.
So yeah. It was just interesting because back at that time was a crazy time for me. And it's just weird thinking back to that.
Yeah, it's
that's
crazy,
the last time
man.
I saw you.
Well, man, I received your compliments. Arigato, brother. Arigato, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Also for me too, that's when I first moved to LA, actually, bro.
No way.
First couple of months. Yeah. I started late too, around January, I think, because you guys started December? No, November, something like that.
Yeah.
And that transition was tough. Like you mentioned, like going to a new city, new place, especially a place like LA that's pretty cutthroat, to be honest with y'all. Like, it really is. Like, people say it's
savage here. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was good to find like a community of people, especially at work, bro. The fact that we were working and everyone was like so chill, bro. Like, everyone's hustling. That's another thing that was super amazing. Everyone over there obviously doing multiple things, passionate about multiple things, different avenues, music, acting, whatever it is.
A lot
like
of musicians.
It's in a good way. It was hard to like be lazy. If that makes sense. Obviously we're going to work to get a check. We gotta get money. Shout out to Squid Game. Well,
I remember that money.
Yeah. Oh
God,
man,
that was good.
I wish it was real money. I'm trying to piggyback. I wish we could take some home. To be honest, right, Cody, you want to take home?
You want to get rich with us, Cody?
For real? Oh, he said no. He's living his good life. Cody. But man, it was so great. I want to eventually have everyone on the podcast. Of course, I have a lot of people actually. I think.
Cool.
6 other people.
Yeah. But it's a lot of great human beings.
A lot of great people, but it's always hard to schedule, when it comes to podcasts and everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know. Shout out to your co-host, Daxton.
Daxton,
Man, you guys met actually during a little fun reality TV show. Yeah. What is it called again, Mama?
So I was on a show called Finding Mr. Christmas.
Finding Mr. Christmas.
On Hallmark. And it was a wild ride. It was a reality competition show for actors, people aspiring to be in the acting world. And each episode was a fun little Christmas themed competition. And then the second challenge was an acting challenge. We had to learn scripts in 15 minutes, act opposite a partner, one take.
Bro, you said 15 minutes? You memorized it in 15 minutes?
We had to memorize scripts in
15
minutes.
You're crazy. Because I saw one of the clips. Well, first of all, also, you changed your accent during it. I'm like, bro, what?
Wait, what just happened?
Because when I randomly watched the clip, it was like you in like an American accent. I'm like, this is Hayden, right? Because I haven't seen you in the I'm like, is that him?
Yeah, I did do the American accent.
Bro, that American accent was clean, brother. I was like, damn. And it was like a serious one, too, with this lady. I was like, damn.
That was a fun one. Bro. I won that competition.
I know. That's not spoiler. Sorry, if you didn't watch it.
That was the one I did win. Yeah. So.
Bro, that was insane. How do you get into the different accents, though, man? I'm sure you probably learned it when you were learning in school, right?
Exactly.
What's the name of the school? Shout out to Queensland University of Technology. You know what I'm saying?
That's my jam. Yeah. Back a decade ago, I graduated.
Damn, brother.
Did I? Was it a decade ago? Yeah,
I thought you were 26, bro. You went to school.
I am 26.
26. My brother, come on now, let's go.
No, I'm in my 30s. And yes, it was a decade ago. Great institution. Learned some really valuable lessons. Studied. Don't you chew that? Studied for 3 years there and really dived deep into the world of acting. We studied one specific style for the first year, which was, I think, really valuable to knuckle down into one style instead of learning a myriad of styles. We deep dived into one for an entire year, and man, I'd never learned so much in such a year's a long time, but grand scheme of things, short amount of time.
Super quick, yeah.
So super valuable experience. QUT is one of the best schools in Australia, so fortunate enough to get in there. And I spent probably 3 months in the American accent when I first started learning it. I'm not one of those people who can just switch it on. Who can just I've got friends, super talented people who can just go into any other accent. Hey, do this accent, who can do it. I kind of, if I want to do it well, which I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I need to do it well. That's good, right? I have to study it. And I studied the American accent for 3 months. The first 6 weeks I was in a textbook practicing.
Really? Wow, awesome, man. Recording
myself, listening to other recordings and just practicing, getting my tongue placement right, and all of that. And then I spent probably 2 months in the accent every day for about 2 months straight. And that's where I learned the most.
Because, just the repetition.
And because you're in an environment where it's okay to mess up. Like if I'm reading the script for the show we're doing and there's a word I don't know how to say, I say it and it's wrong and I can hear it's wrong. And my friends who are in the acting class hear it's wrong and they go, oh, something's wrong about that word. How would we say it? We work it out together. It was such a great learning experience.
That's awesome, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, because people are embarrassed to put on an accent, embarrassed to fail. And I get that. Whenever I put on an accent, I want it to be great. But if you're in an environment where it's okay to fail, wow, you can learn so quick.
That's the best way. That's the best growth. You honestly learn more from failure.
Yeah.
Because if you just always win, you can't always win in life, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to take the L's and then make it a W.
In fact, you don't want an experience without the L's. You know? You want to get a really fulfilling dub. You got to have those L's along the way because otherwise, what was it? It was easy.
Yeah, you're other one. It's baby mode. It's baby mode.
Yeah. It wasn't a challenge for you anyway. So
spitting already fast right here. Come on now. Speaking of the whole accent thing, I'm curious now. What was your trouble word then that would you would always get the sounding words? Give me top three.
I'm curious. I actually made up my own tongue twister.
Because
just full of words that I really struggled to say.
I'm curious now.
For an Australian, these words are insanely difficult to say. You little rascal.
Oh, he actually
did it up? Actually choose
great.
Great.
Let's see if leash is one of the words.
We have an escapee.
Yes, there we go.
Okay, so I invented this because I couldn't say these words, especially in quick succession. I'll say it in the Australian accent.
Okay, yeah.
You say it in yours. Okay, and then I'll try and copy you. I saw my girlfriend's quarter in the rearview mirror.
I saw my girlfriend's quarter in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, okay. Quarter is really hard to say. I saw my girlfriend's quarter in the rearview mirror. That's so hard.
Hey man, better than if I did that other version, bro.
Yeah, no, do it in Australian.
You said,
I saw my girlfriend's quarter in the rearview mirror.
I saw. I'm gonna need a lesson after this.
Yeah, well, just say the word mirror.
Mirror.
Yeah. Now,
it's not hard.
Now you're a true Aussie.
Oh man, oi, you know what I'm saying? Oi, come on, brother.
You've been there. You know what we're talking about.
Of course, you know how it is out here, man. Shout out to the Australians. What's my future ex-wife?
Yeah,
you know who you are.
Come on, there's an Aussie out there, Patty.
Speaking of wife, though, married.
Okay, so
here we go. This is the tea.
Here's the tea. So we did preface this earlier. I was foreshadowing. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. This is what we do on the Patty Show. This is what we do. Right?
So during Squid Games, my wife divorced me, which is why I was having a pretty rough time. So we started Squid Games in November, but about 3 or 4 months before then, my wife and I were on pretty rocky ground.
Was she also Australian?
No, she's American.
Okay.
So yeah, the whole reason we moved from Australia to come to America and be here. So, so she left me and took my dog about a week before Christmas. Brother. And we were working all through Christmas.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
And then in January, she told me she was never coming back. So I was dealing with that during Squid Games, and there were a few moments where a couple of people were like, "Are you okay?" Because I was like a shell of a human being.
I can imagine.
But it was pretty. I was lucky to have that job because otherwise, I don't know how was in a pretty dark place. I don't know how I would have gotten through it without having something to do every day. And I came to work the next day because I was like, I just need to go. I can't just be sitting at home in this house with all these memories and all this.
Yeah, I just need to leave.
Just leave.
Physically get out of the space.
Yeah. So I think I'm a very different person to who I was when you met me. So
that's why.
Yeah. So I'm glad you called me up because I was like, I don't know really who I was then because I was just getting through each day.
Hey man, well, thanks for sharing, bro. And also, I think I did some research too, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this guy is married or was.
Yeah, was.
And I was like, oh, interesting. Yeah. I'm like, where does this go in the puzzle? You know, because every time in the Patty Show, I do my research. I love
you do.
I love it, man. It's fun finding the little puzzles. That's my passion. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
But so you guys met actually in Australia then?
Yep, that's right. Okay. So she was American, working in Australia. She is American, was working in Australia. And we met. We were really good friends for probably like 2 years.
Oh wow,
we even started dating.
Time,
yeah. She was. Excuse me. Hey, is that you?
Cody, come on now.
Cody. And she was great. We were good friends. We decided to start seeing each other, and then she couldn't stay in Australia. Her visa had come to an end, and it was going pretty well. So we were like, okay, where are we going next? We moved to Vancouver. Because I couldn't stay in America because visa stuff.
Oh, it's complicated.
It is
now, yo.
Oh, dude.
Tomato section.
I can't even begin to tell you.
We throw in the tomatoes. We won't talk about politics, but we're throwing the tomatoes.
Damn right. Oh, man. I want tomatoes coming at me right now. So, we lived in Vancouver for about 6 months. We intended to be there for probably 2 years, but COVID happened.
Oh my God! Okay,
I have a crazy COVID story, but just to sum it up real fast, her father passed away suddenly. We went down to Dallas for his funeral. During that week, Canada closed their borders because of COVID.
My goodness,
they wouldn't let us back in, so we had to get the last couple of flights back to Australia because we couldn't stay in America because neither of us had health insurance. So we had our apartment and our car in Vancouver. We had to leave Dallas to go back to Brisbane. We were broke. We had to move in with my mum and dad because we had no money. We had to get people we met in Canada to pack up our apartment and hold on to our stuff. I said to my mate, I was like, hey, can you just hold on to it for a couple of weeks till I can come back once COVID's over?
And then what happened?
It took nearly 2 years for me to get that stuff back. Brother. Yeah, Australia wouldn't let me leave. Oy, that's a whole new thing. But yeah, we eventually, after a couple of years, went back to Canada, got our stuff, and got married and moved to America.
You guys got married in the States?
Yeah.
Okay.
In California, baby.
Oh man, the best state over there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's it. So and had 2 really good years, but it had run its course.
Wow.
But it's one of those things that like. I'm so thankful for it now. Tough year, man. Really tough year.
I can imagine. Yeah.
But also I had the best year of my life last year, as well as the worst year of my life last year. So it's really an interesting dichotomy and funny how the universe kind of helps you out at times when you might need it a little bit.
This is perspective. I love, bro. That's this positivity, the Christmas cheer, and also in the Christmas TV show, was it also like a kind of dating?
No. Nope. People look at it as like it's like 10 dudes. It kind of looks bachelor.
Yeah. Like a dating show vibe. Like
there's no dating, thank God.
You got that opportunity after the divorce or during?
So I got the audition for it 2 weeks after my ex-wife initiated the divorce. During Squid Games and all that.
Well, first of all, like the fact that you still took the audition after that craziness, people don't realize auditioning.
I nearly didn't do it, dude. I was like, how do I muster up the Christmas spirit?
Especially for something like that.
It's Hallmark. They are just happy.
They're
Everything's
the
always
definition of like energy. Yeah. There's no such thing as divorce.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And then you're like, oh man.
So I wasn't going to do the audition because I was like, I just can't now.
Bro.
I just can't. I don't want to. And then I was like, okay, wait, what do I have to lose? not much. so I just did it, and I was the first person cast on the show, which is
really cool. Shout out to Hallmark. Get them on season 2?
There will be a season 2. I'm not on season 2, but
they want like a new people?
new people, but the Blondies will
Shout out to Blondies.
Shout out Blondies Out Loud will be covering the new season.
That's
we'll
awesome.
Be reviewing
That's awesome. And you met your co-host at the show, right?
That's right. Yeah, Dax. So Dax and I hit it off pretty straight away. We were both pretty open about like things we were going through at the time. And
shout out Dax. We appreciate you.
So Dax is a really awesome guy. He's like an open book. He's a positive spirit, you know.
He's funny, man. I saw some of the episode. I'm like, you guys are killing me, bro. Like,
he cracks me up. He's very funny. He's also sassy as hell.
Yeah, we love it. We love it. Shout out Pride, you know. We love it.
Yeah,
the energy. Oh my god, bro. I have to meet him. I can have him on the Patty Show eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my god,
love it.
He has positive energy. It's so funny, man.
Yeah, but he's great.
That's also a testament to you. More flowers again. It's easy for people to be open books to you because you're also an open book, my man.
Thank you. I think there's some truth in that. The more you can open up and be vulnerable with someone, the easier they will open up with you, I think, anyway.
Absolutely, because it's hard to open up yourself to someone if they're always like, blocking out.
Can you trust them? I don't know. But if you put a little piece of you on the line, make yourself, compromise yourself a little bit in the hopes that it'll be returned, all of a sudden you've got a friendship. That's what that is.
And it's hard to find in LA, so shout out to you, man. Loyal out here, even though I haven't seen you in a year and a half. It's like we saw each other yesterday, bro. Like
I know, right?
With the Dragons, the what is it called? The
LA Dragons.
Yes, of course.
My man does his research.
I told you. Also, because I love dragons, that's why I figured my dragon sensor's like this brother's a dragon. He's part Indonesian at this point.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So that's Australian football, right?
That's right. Do you know much about Aussie football,
bro? I'm trying to learn actually because that looks insane. I've seen some of your clips. So it's like a little bit like rugby, a little bit.
It's like the same. It's so hard to
walk me through. Walk me through. Yeah, I know. I was trying to understand the rules before you came over.
It's unlike any sport. Do you know what Gaelic football is by any chance?
No, but is it like Irish football? Or something?
It's kind of like Gaelic football, but if you don't know what Gaelic football is, then that's not going to help. Essentially, there's a big oval, so it's not square. It's a big oval field.
Wow.
There's goalposts on either end. And the game, it revolves around kicking the ball to each other. There's no offsides, so your team spreads out across the whole field.
And how many each side is it?
Depends, but I think you could probably have 18 on the field.
Okay.
One. It depends. You can play 9s, 10s, however, usually as long as it's even numbers, you're pretty fine. Especially here in LA, it's a smaller league, obviously.
Not
as many Aussies out.
Yeah,
right. But yeah, so it's you kick the ball to your teammates. The goal is to get it through the goal. Whoever gets the most points wins, as we know. But yeah, you take things called marks. If you catch the ball on the full,
on the full. Okay.
So the ball comes in,
Cody right there,
and you catch the ball
on the full.
Boom! The ball growls.
He goes crazy. The ball growls back. Special effects on the Patty Show upgrades. You know that's what we do out here. So on the full is like when you fully hold it
before it bounces.
Okay.
Yep. And that counts as a mark, and no one can tackle you. If you don't catch it on the full and it bounces,
get ready.
Then it's free game.
Get ready, brother.
Yeah. So look out. But yeah, it's a really high intense. You gotta have explosive power. You got to be able to sprint and jump, but also you just don't stop moving the whole time. You got to have that cardio. So it's a really elite sport. I need to work on all of the things I just mentioned, but play our first proper game against other clubs on Saturday.
Oh, man. What time is that, man?
We're playing 2 games. We're playing like Orange County at like 10:30 and then San Diego at like 12:30 or something. Yeah.
Maybe Cody will have to join in.
Cody, you want to come?
That's
Don't
crazy.
Get mistaken for the ball this time.
I know, bro. He's gonna start growling. Bro, that's amazing, man. And how did you find this little community, by the way?
Well, I knew I wanted to play since I moved here because it's like I feel like there's a formula for succeeding in a new city, and that is getting friends as quickly as you can. And how I think you get friends quickly is by joining a sport club.
Absolutely.
Instant mates.
Easy. Yeah. Because it's like even if you don't know the culture or even the language.
Yes.
you know how to kick a ball.
Same objective.
Yeah, teamwork, you know, usually, and everything like that.
And guess what? They're there for the same thing. They want some mates as well.
They're all Australian, all of them.
Well, half of them are actually American.
Yanks. Yanks. I need to learn more of this Australian lingo, man. I love
Yanks. You can call all your American mates Yanks.
There we go. Shout out to my Yanks. You know who you are? Yeah. Shout out to the Yankees. All is that where?
Could that be where that's from?
This is what we do on the Patty Show. We also learn about languages.
I've never thought of that before.
I think bro. I'm a real. Don't quote me on it, y'all. But
that sounds like it could be.
It has to be, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
are you into sports? What did you play something, or do you play something right now?
I'm getting back into soccer right now, bro.
Hell yeah.
I'm dying, bro. Like the blisters on my feet messed up. I was playing volleyball the other day. I just like playing them all, bro, to be honest. But like you mentioned, the social aspect, it's the best. Because I started a job at Meta. Shout out to them. They fund the Patty Show.
Congrats,
Thank you, brother. Thank you. They helped me with the bills. Because, you know, entertainment is very volatile. So that helps a lot with all that stuff. But, yeah, man, when I started there was a soccer club. And I'm like, man, I'm going to join it. Met a lot of great people. Shout out to them over there. Right. And then getting back into the whole soccer stuff, it is tough, my man. Yeah,
that fitness, man.
Brother, they run, man. They run like forever, man. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
And then they have like this volleyball thing that I've been doing too, which is super fun, meeting people. And yeah, just trying to stay active. All that. I love all the different things. Man, I'm trying to learn from you, Sensei. I just love also how like there's so many different sports, bro. Like previously on the episode of Patty Show, we had Jordan also from Squid Game.
Yep.
She was telling me how
I remember Jordan.
Yeah. Curly hair, singer. She loves that.
She was great. She had such a good vibe.
The homie right there. We miss you, girl. Yeah. Cody was going crazy for her because of the whole. Yeah. We'll talk about that stuff. And
he's a boy dog.
He's a boy dog. Let's just say that the boy dog can sense, you know, girl energy. But she was talking about like water polo, bro. Like she was really passionate about it, and like I didn't even know. I forgot water polo was a sport until she.
Dude, yeah.
There's a sport for every person, to be honest with you.
Legit,
like,
you can find something.
Literally, so that's a great tip. Honestly, if you guys are in a new city, find a sport that you love or that you want to try to get into. Pickleball has been super popular now.
That's coming around,
and it's easier on the joints, to be honest, compared to like soccer. I'm telling you, I woke up this morning. I'm like, woo, man! I'm like, I just turned 27, and I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm 57, bro. I'm like, goodness gracious,
dude,
man.
Welcome to my life. Holy,
I can't wait.
It doesn't get better.
Oh, great! When I turn 28, like you.
Yep.
Yeah, 28. Of course.
Thank you, mate. Flattery will get you around.
You know, I got you, my man. That's the Yank lifestyle. Yankees, all that good stuff.
The man. Yankees.
Cody.
Cody, man, you're in a playful mood.
I know he heard about the girls, and he's like, "Where they at? Where are they at, man?" Just gonna backtrack a little bit to the Christmas stuff, my man.
Oh yeah.
I was on Reddit.
Reddit's a crazy place to be for this show.
They love this brother here. They love you, bro.
I am very lucky. I have a lot of great fans there. I came second on the show, so I came this close. Man, I was ready to swing, bro. I was like, come on now. But people really took to Reddit and said what they wanted to say, and I was like, I need to stay well clear of Reddit.
You're like, bro, Reddit is wild. Yeah. They definitely are passionate. I'll tell you that much. They were going insane for you. But also what I really loved about your energy, man, is like everyone that was commenting were like, man, Hayden's the best. He always responded to my comments. Oh, yeah. Liked all my stuff. And I'm like, that's him. That's literally him. You know, it's not a robot.
Well, I was just so flattered that like people were supporting me, and I guess they know me to the extent that they saw me on the show.
Yeah,
and maybe if they looked at my Instagram, they might know a little bit more about me. But it's kind of strange in a really pleasant way to have people who've got your back that you've never met before, and to see that so prolifically online, I was like, oh, I need to tell these people that this means something to me. So yeah, I tried to be pretty active in responding to people.
That's the beauty of like technology, man. Sometimes it can be distracting. A lot of times, I'm not gonna lie, like, scrolling and all that stuff. But I love when it connects people from like different parts of the globe, man. Yeah. Like you said, complete strangers. You don't know what they do for work, how many kids they have, if they have kids or whatever. But you're like, good energy, and then they send the same back. And that's always a blessing, man. Shout out to everyone out there. You know, all the good energy.
I mean, it offsets the bad vibes. Yeah. Because the bad vibes exist.
There's a lot of haters out there.
And like if you would have Googled the Finding Mr. Christmas stuff, there's both. There's both those things, but it's kind of uplifting to see the pause.
No, absolutely. Yeah. How do you handle, though, for example, those more negative comments, so to speak?
Look, initially in my early career with reviews and things like that for film or any theater I did, I would just be like, I don't need to look at it. The only opinion I really care about are the people who have sway over what happens with the show, my director. Are they liking what they're seeing? Because it's on them at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So I didn't really read any reviews or anything, but since Finding Mr. Christmas has come out, I wanted to be really across everything that was online, all the socials and stuff, and review podcasts that were reviewing it. And it was hard at times because my story was shared, probably 10% of my story was actually shared on Finding Mr. Christmas, and there's 90% that wasn't said. So these people are learning just a sliver of who you are and making judgments about that, which is fine. We do that. That's what people do. You have to.
You have to. There's no way. Yeah.
But for some people to be so negative online, it's just like you want to go, hey, but that's not everything. You know, there's this as well, and maybe you wouldn't say that if you knew this. But it, as draining as it did get, reading, you know, some of the negative stuff or hearing a review that they didn't like the way you presented in this part of the show, it got to the point where I was like, whatever. This is fine. Some people are going to like me, some people aren't. I had an overwhelming amount of people like me from the show. Let's focus on that. Let's take that away rather than the few that were just like nasty people.
Yeah.
And they're always going to exist. So the more I was exposed to it, the easier it kind of became to take on the chin, you know?
Inspirational man right here. And that whole show, by the way, also, to win it, was it like a voting or like how did that whole process work out?
Judges vote.
Okay.
Yeah. So
not like American Idol, you know, they have like text.
Hey, it might have turned out very differently if people were allowed to call in and vote. Maybe they'll do that again in the future, maybe not. But yeah, it went down to judges, producers' decision. So
yeah, man. Yeah. Wow. You did amazing. I'm proud of you, man.
I'm stoked with what I put up, considering what, you know, was happening in my life at the time. I was very happy with the way it turned out. I cried maybe a little too much because I was in a very sensitive place, but we live and let live.
We live and let live. I love that, man. You're very passionate in that show, man, having a fun time.
Yeah.
And of course, with the whole passion, we're going to talk more about this podcast hosting stuff because I'm trying to learn also. Again, I want to keep going.
You are crushing. I should be
thank you, brother. We like to learn from each other, you know?
By the way, Cody's chilling now.
Bro, you're a beast, bro. You're a beast.
We got Cody to chill.
Thank God. Yeah, he's not
tired now.
Thank you. Yeah, he actually did like bite the whole.
he literally did.
Bro, he's bitten like at least 3 of them. So
we're gonna retire it.
I know for real. Yeah. The sense that he knows. This podcast hosting life, man. How is it having like a co-host with the podcast, and what's like your guys' process whenever you guys make an episode?
I think actually the podcast wouldn't exist if it was just me, and it wouldn't exist if it wasn't just Daxton. We both understand the strengths each other bring to the podcast and the preparation and the outreach and things like that. He and I couldn't really be more opposite, which is why it works. You know, he does things that I can't do. Like he has some great contacts, and he's very personable, and he's reaching out to people at all times, pestering people to like be involved in the best way. I will avoid that, and I'll do all the legwork. I'll make sure all the podcasts are up on all the platforms and type out scripts if we need sponsor scripts. And I do a lot of the back end legwork, and he does a lot of the outreach, and it just is a really good symbiotic relationship. We have disagreements, we have arguments, we kiss and make up, Not literally.
Oh, they were ready for this content. That's
maybe Blondies up late.
Hey man, you could also be part of Patty's show podcast. OnlyFans. Sponsored by Patty's show. You know what I'm saying? Quite on sale. But I love how you mentioned that because my first podcast ever and radio show was in college right before COVID. Also had a co-host, my brother Akbar. Miss you, my man. Nice. Yeah, he's the homie right there. He's also another one like. He was a refugee from Tanzania, bro. No way. Completely different background. Of course, you know, not Indonesian, Chinese American like me. Yeah. Different life, whole different experiences, all that stuff. And he was also like similar to like Dax. Like he do the outreach stuff, and I'll be the one going to Anchor back then. Nice. Anchor FM, you know.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know this.
We might have used Anchor.
Yeah. So just like to upload all that stuff, get the guests and everything, and it just like it worked, bro. Finding someone that's like opposite in a way, but there's like there's a thread somehow over there, but
for sure,
just doing some person doing the dirty work, another person doing another part of like dirty work or whatever, working together is
to get the and I think the beauty is you inspire each other to keep pushing, because I don't know if I would have kept going without Daxton, and I know he feels the same way. We just complement each other, and we both have the same goal, and that's what keeps it going. So yeah, he's now one of my best friends in the world. And yeah, we tell each other almost everything. We're on the phone pretty much every day. And yeah, it's one of the most fruitful friendships I think I've ever had. And, you know, it's in a direction of where I want my career to go. So it's what a bonus.
Absolutely.
I'm very lucky.
And you just met him like over a year ago or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah,
during the shooting,
a little over a year ago. Yeah.
Wow, that's insane. You guys, I thought you guys were like siblings at that point. How close?
We connected straight away on the show, and then afterwards we hung out all the time, and we got these ideas flowing and things like that. And Blondies Out Loud is just one small kind of faction of what we're planning. We did our first live show a couple of weeks ago.
You did. Congrats again, by the way. Congrats again. Bro, this guy is killing it, man. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't be there. I was taking care of this man right here, Cody. So now you know
this man needs love.
I think he's knocked out over there.
He's chilling, yeah.
How'd that whole process go, man? It looked amazing, man. You had like special guests too, and then games and stuff.
Yeah, so the whole event, we had some special guests up, and the whole idea was to find the blondest blondie of them all. And you don't have to be blonde.
Oh, okay.
You do have to be a little blonde in nature.
There we go.
You know what I mean? A little stupid sometimes, a little ditzy. Be okay to embarrass yourself
just
a little bit.
Vibing out.
So I think we actually had a brunette win.
Oh, shout out.
But they were blonde in their heart. You know?
I love that, man.
So we put everyone through a series of tasks and games and things like that, bro. And it made for some hilarious content. So
that's insane, man. What do you think would be the hardest Blondie challenge?
Ooh, the hardest
you guys put there for someone.
Well, we did have an Aussie accent off.
Oh, that's tough.
That was tough. These poor guys. And then we had, I think probably one of the hardest was we had some bedroom activities to do.
Mom, don't worry about this, Mom. You can cut off this part, okay?
Don't worry, this is all PG.
Yes.
So we had our guests, our panelists or whatever you call them, our Blondie brigade, handcuffed to an audience member.
Okay.
And as a team, they had to fold a fitted sheet.
Okay.
They had to fold some laundry, and then they had to pair all these random socks together and shoot the socks into a washing basket. And whoever got the sock in at the end was the winner of that challenge. But those are the bedroom activities I am referring to.
Oh, okay. Just make sure. But the other activities we'll talk about on the Patty Show podcast. You know? SHHHHOW.
I'm there.
Man, I gotta do a live show. Like, that'd be fun, man.
Dude, yeah. If you enjoy getting up and hosting things, being on the mic, I feel like that's your jam.
I need to find someone. Maybe Cody wants to sponsor me.
Hey,
he's not though. He's not good.
He's so passed out right now,
bro. I love. That sounds like a fun time. I wish I was there, man. I'm glad you guys had a fun time.
Thank you, bro.
There,
yeah,
man.
It was great. We're planning to do more. Hopefully, we'll do some more in Dallas, New York, Kansas, and New Jersey. We're looking at as well. So let's see.
Why Kansas and Dallas, man?
So Dallas, we've got some connections.
Okay.
New York, we've got some connections. And New Jersey and Kansas, that'll be around Christmas time, hopefully. Daxton and I have a very Hallmark heavy audience. Hallmark love Christmas. So we're going to be around the Christmas vibes.
You guys are smart. Y'all smart.
We business blondes.
Business blondies. Business blondies. BB, baby.
Yeah, so we're keeping our options open.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Yeah. Shout out to all the kids. They definitely look like the type to watch that.
For real.
That's so funny, man. Would you ever do one back in Australia, bro?
Great question. Look, if we can get people there, as long as there's more than 3 people, I'll do it.
I'm sure we can find some people. I know a couple people. I got some people. Bro.
Let's go to Indo and do one.
Bro. Bali trip, y'all.
You can be the host, bro.
We got great ideas. It's gonna be palm trees. Who's the most palm tree? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who can be the best palm tree?
There we go. Exactly. That has passion, pleasure, and positivity. All that good stuff. Personal paradise. That's the thing.
Your P alliteration is on point. Baby,
love you, brother. See, this is why I needed you here. See, this brother, man, he got me over here.
We doing it.
Oh my God, Bali trip would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that Bali trip, bro. So, what's the relationship status now?
Single.
Single.
Yeah.
Okay. Hot boy summer.
Oh God.
That's what we do.
We ain't out there doing much. We are very career focused.
Yes, sir. I love that. I did see your article about that, talking about how you're focused. I forgot which news article it was, because there's a lot on you, to be honest with you. But I think I'm on that same career path, man. Of just like putting your head down a little bit. My question for you, though, because this is also a question for me personally.
Yeah.
How do you not get distracted from friends that are, having kids, getting married, in happy relationships? Shout out to y'all, because I'm gonna be real with you all. My guy friends, I'd say 80% of them are like in happy relationships. Yeah. I'm happy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like,
maybe.
I don't know. Some tea over there.
I really hope so.
I also, we're praying to them. Yeah. And some of them probably gonna. Well, one of them is already married. Shout out to my boy Alex. Went to Mexico for that trip. That was a fun time. Yeah. So y'all got to get married quick. I want to go to Mexico again.
Front back
or Australia, whatever. Traveling, all that. But how do you not compare yourself, man, to that type of happiness that they have over there?
That's a really interesting point, and I got to say, not one I've really thought about. I was on that trajectory for, maybe even before most of my friends. I was definitely. My ex-wife and I were definitely talking about having kids. And I guess having that kind of rug pulled out.
Yeah, man.
Very interesting. How do I feel about that? Some of my best friends just had a beautiful baby girl. They're getting married next year. A lot of my friends are on that track. But I haven't really felt caught up in being jealous of that or wanting that. I think what I'm doing right now is so fulfilling. I'm spending a lot of time focusing on me, which I guess is inherently selfish, but it's helping me
you should, man.
get through some stuff. And, when the right person comes around, maybe that will happen for me. I'm not putting any pressure on it, which is cool. I do want to get my career figured out properly, solidly before that happens now. But yeah, honestly, not something I've really worried too much about.
Yeah, man. I love that honesty, man. And it's also because you're doing a lot of stuff, man. And I love how you mentioned how the stuff that you do fulfills you. And I get distracted too in the best way possible when you're just locked in, like doing the podcast stuff, acting with the shelter and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's just that you literally do not have time.
Yeah.
About all this. And it's honestly pretty good.
And you know what? Like you said, what is pretty good is there's no relational problem.
Amen.
Because there's no relation.
Amen.
So it's like I'm not arguing with someone about something silly or there's no the only conflict I have is conflict I choose now. And if my podcast partner and I or my housemate and I have some conflict, I say conflict, that's a heavy word.
Yeah.
I'm pretty all my friends and I are pretty great with if we've got something wrong, we have a little
address
talk about it and move on. But that's the conflict I choose now, rather than if you're with a partner, there will inevitably be some arguments and stuff like that, and I don't want that right now. It's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, so he's my cousin. We're on the same trajectory, man. It's because obviously there's pros and cons of both. Building your career with a partner has its pros and cons, and then same for us doing the solo, focusing on ourselves and building the career. What helps a lot, honestly, I'm sure you agree with this. You can do so much more spontaneous stuff, bro.
Totally.
If someone literally hits you up, oh, we got this project coming up. You're like, who do I have to really ask?
Do?
You know what I'm saying? Who are like, my mom's in Indonesia.
Yep.
You know, like the families all around. Like, sure, let's
legit, dude.
Let's do it. You know,
you are, I guess, have a sense of freedom. And on the flip side, you find a really great partner, and they will add to that.
Absolutely.
You just got to find that right person, I guess. So
man, he's preaching.
If you want it, if you don't want it, keep doing you.
Keep doing you. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God.
Yeah.
But man, you worked hard in your career, man. I've seen a lot of the credits that you've done. You did this Disney show, right?
Yeah.
What is it called?
Doogie Kame Aloha.
Yes, I saw you, dude.
I was fully stuck, bro.
Yeah. the surfer dude, man. I swear.
Yeah. That was probably one of the most fun jobs I've ever done, actually. That one sticks out as one of the best. They film it in Hawaii, so they flew me out to Hawaii.
That's insane, bro.
I think I filmed for like 4 or 5 days, but I was there for 10. They gave me a car. So those 5 days I had off, I just explored the island.
Oh my God, bro! Sick. I need to go. See, that's another thing, man. Hawaii is like, I never thought about it. I'm like, it's literally right there.
That's right. But you spent a lot of time in Indonesia, right?
Yeah, bro. So
I feel like Indonesia would be similar vibes, right?
Oh yeah. I'm missing on it. Now I gotta go back. I just want to travel more, bro. Yeah. That's probably why I can't find a wife. I need to have a wife in every continent. Shadow, you know who you are in Sweden. Stop playing.
You know, changing his name.
Yeah, bro. Hey, man.
He be wearing mustaches.
For real, bro. I'm gonna let the hair down and everything.
Yeah.
You gotta switch it up, you know.
Yeah.
But speaking of hair, though, actually, you did have a lot of hairstyles in your time.
That's so funny. You bring that up.
Yes. If you guys see one of his best headshots is the one with the luscious locks.
Yeah.
That's why I say he's my cousin. But your hair, bro, amazing, man.
Dude, how much more free do you feel with long hair?
Insane.
Don't you feel just like a freaking...
Bro, I feel like a boss, bro. Yeah. I don't even know, like, it's just, especially like when the hair is... My favorite, though, is I went surfing recently again, getting back into it, in San Diego, bro. And when the hair is like, has that right amount of like sand, beachy.
Yeah.
Woo, bro.
Doesn't
I feel like
good?
A beast, bro. I feel like Jason Momoa, my other cousin.
You get out of the water and you're like, woo.
Yeah, bro. When it's like good though. When it's like in the mouth though, that's the bad part of it. But you had long hair, man. You also
do you remember the hairstyle I had when we did Squid Games?
Of course, brother.
I had the mullet.
Yeah, I
had a mullet, mustache combo.
I know. I was like, this brother tried it all.
Yeah,
you really did, bro. Because I was looking through other like clips too. You had almost like the buzz cut kind of vibe.
Yeah, I had a buzz cut for a while there. I've grown my hair out on 2 separate occasions, and I've buzzed it back off 2 separate occasions. But otherwise, it's normally kind of like this.
That's the vibe. Okay, that's what we're gonna stick to, or are we gonna switch it up?
I'm gonna grow it out a little bit.
Okay,
not as long as yours.
Oh man, that'll be kind of funny.
I shall be growing it out just a little bit. We're getting there. Boop.
There we go. Oh my
goodness, time, baby.
Is there a reason why you like growing your hair out, bro? Just
it's the feeling I get when I did it. I just felt like, I don't know, just a bit more wild. You know? like everyone has short back and sides. Everyone has this haircut. It's kind of nice to be a little different and just, let the locks out. You know? It's something freeing about it.
It definitely is, man.
Rebellious.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Rebellious, dangerous, all that stuff, you know. It is nice having long hair, bro, because it's also easy for people to point me out. So like, if everyone's lost, Patty's over there with the bun. Okay, good.
True.
But then also, the flip side, bro. You can't do anything.
The heat.
You can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? The heat, and then people watch your every move because they know what you're doing.
The guy with the bun.
You know, I'm like, damn, if I do anything wrong, man, the club, you know who you are. Stop playing. Sorry, Mom. Don't watch this part of the episode.
Mom cut it off.
I know. My mom was like, damn, what did you do on this crazy episode? I don't know. We talked about a lot of stuff, honestly. We didn't talk about the talk points yet. Yeah, but you're passionate over here.
But we have exhibited a lot of passion
Absolutely,
right now.
Man.
Haven't we?
Of course, man. That's why I needed to have you on the show, because I missed you, of course, genuinely. More flowers again. Flowers.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks for being so vulnerable, man. Thanks for sharing, man. Especially, bro, I can't imagine with the whole, like, divorce stuff. Like, I've done with breakups. I
wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Bro,
worst thing.
Breakups are tough. I can't imagine with that. And then dog, too, bro.
Taking my dog. I miss that dog every day, bro.
Oh, my goodness. I can't. So, man, blessings. I'm glad that you took the best out of it that you could, man, and you're going forward with the career, man. Like you said, you have a lot. His IMDb. Oh, speaking of socials. Yeah. What are the socials, my man?
Socials? Oh, guys, coming over to my socials.
Come on. It's at...
On Instagram, it's Hayden B. Maher. Maher.
Okay.
And we have some fun on the gram.
Yes.
I've been told it's not very aesthetically pleasing, but I don't care.
Yeah, it's too hard, brother.
I just put stuff on. And if you
has
like
a fun time. And then the Blondies podcast.
Blondies Out Loud. Wherever you get your podcast, YouTube, that's a great place for it.
Sir.
At Blondies Out Loud. So stay tuned for that. That's the good stuff.
I know. I love the setup. You guys have like the multi-cam vibes and everything. Oh my god! How did you guys like find that whole setup? What kind of cameras?
Well, this is where Daxton comes in, man.
Daxton! Shout out to you, brother.
Shout out D-Dog. He has some great connections, some really good friends who are letting us use the studio with microphones, and we set up our own cameras. So we just use iPhones because they're really high quality. And we set them all up. We have the lighting thing. And then we send all our stuff off to our editor, which is a blessing.
Tell me about it. It's so bad.
Editing takes freaking ages, but we fortunately have an editor.
Awesome. And you found them from where?
Again, through a connection with Daxton.
We love that.
So Daxton knows people in the city. I'm slowly meeting some great people and meeting a lot more people, but Daxton's been here for years, over a decade, and he knows people.
So Daxton, man, the homie right there.
Yeah, he's a homie. Sure.
We love that, man. Shout out to you, man. Passionate man. Speaking of passion, our first talking point. Here we go. We were talking a lot. We honestly answered a lot of the questions, but we just go through them. Passion as a source of energy, man.
Sure. I did have to think about this one quite a lot. And you know what? I realized that it's probably important to define what passion actually is, because passion, off the top of my head, you go passion and you think that's a very energetic, very forward momentum adjective for something. If you're passionate about something, usually that means you have a lot of energy for it. And I was trying to back engineer it. I was like, what does passion actually mean? And I'd love to hear your opinion on this. My thinking is doing an action and feeling an overwhelming sense of happiness, fulfillment, contentment, joy from that thing. So doing more of that action. Is that what passion is?
Man, I love that you ask this question. And this is what the Patty Show is about. You know? That's our first pillar, passion. And honestly, all those words I completely agree with. And I would like to add also,
please,
the fire within. It's kind of hard to describe, but you kind of feel, when you have butterflies whenever you have a performance. The guy, of course, doing all that stuff. It's hard to explain unless you truly experience it, but I'm sure everyone has experienced that, butterfly feeling, that fire, not heartburn. Okay, not I hate heartburn.
Go to a doctor.
Yeah, for real. Indonesian food gets me heartburn with the spice, bro. You know how it is, bro. It's spicy out there, bro. That's my mouth is not Indonesian. I'm American as they come. Bule as they come. Shout out to the bule. But bro, that fire that just sits in, and it like you said, the contentment. You just feel satisfied when you do it. That's passion, especially when it comes to activities that you do, because there's some activity, we have a lot of interests out there. You know how to play a little football, Australian football, all that stuff. But finding that one thing that just over and over again, doesn't matter how tired you are. With this podcast, for example, bro, some days I'm exhausted, bro. 9 to 5, doing this. There's some days I'm like, do I want to do this? But then I'm reminded, I'm talking, the devil and the angel?
Yeah.
The passion angel is Patty, come on now.
Yeah.
You were asking for this when you were in COVID time, not having a job in Connecticut, in the middle of nowhere, not pursuing your dreams. Now you're here in the place where there's opportunities, So it just easily comes back when the passion is already kind of over there.
For sure. Yeah. So like you just said, sometimes with your passion, you're not going to be as energetic as the word suggests you should be.
Yeah.
But I think that's okay. I'm very passionate about acting, but I've had that passion for nearly 20 years. So can I consistently keep up I'm super passionate about this? And the answer is no. I was probably fired up like that for maybe 7 to 10 years. The last 10 years, I've been very measured with it. The passion has come and gone. And I do also think that energy comes with momentum. For me personally, anyway. If I'm doing something, work begets work, acting begets more acting, passion begets more passion, and it kind of builds from there. Yeah. And in the periods of lull, I think I'm less passionate about it. And I also think that's fine, because I know it's this underlying thing that I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I've already decided that. I decided that many, many, many moons ago. And it's okay for that passion to ebb and flow in its form, but I think it's underlying at times. Something I'm passionate about in the excited, energetic sense is the dogs I'm working with right now. This is relatively new for me. I've only been doing it for a year, although I've been passionate about animals my whole life. I love them. I'm a huge animal fan. And but working with these dogs and volunteering with them and seeing them run around in that crazy stupor of being let out of their kennel, you know, like that brings me so much joy and an overwhelming sense. Like, should it really bring me that much joy? Maybe not, but maybe I'm just super passionate about it. And that's why I think this is a really interesting passion of mine, because it lasts, the energy lasts between each one. And it is new, but I think we'll get into it a bit later about what's sustained and what may be a passing thing, but I won't jump the gun.
I know. I love that, man. And that's another great point that you mentioned. Like, we're so complex, like, creatures. We have, like I said, multiple passions. Honestly, passions it's just like one of those words that, like, I feel like sometimes it has like a bad rep of like, what is it called? Oh, you have to find your passion, like an Easter egg. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, if you don't have your passion, you're worthless or whatever. Like, you know. So the fact that you recognize that, like, it's an energy thing, and like you mentioned with the whole momentum, bro, it's a beautiful thing that you got to ride that wave. Yeah, Cowabunga did. Yeah, see, brother. Hey, see, bro, shout out to Disney. Get him again. You know, I gotta learn. You know, Disney, stop playing, man.
Come on,
Disney contract. But yeah, man, the passion, just getting that energy, bro. I think energy. If you guys believe in the mumbo jumbo, whatever, all the tarot cards, crystals, all that, you know. Well, I don't fully believe in that. Tyler did mention Satanism in his.
Okay, Tyler, bringing the heavy.
Yeah, he talked about. Mom, please. My mom's like a pastor, so
she did not like that episode.
She definitely did not want to hear that one. I'll tell you that much. You can talk about anything else, but he mentioned how with Satanism, for example, obviously, you know, it has a bad rep also with everything. I'm not saying I justified all this stuff, but they focus more on pleasure and like focusing on that energy of just like self enjoyment and everything like that. And honestly, it connects a lot when it comes to passion, because it's all life is this energy, life force, and everything. Like whatever you believe in, Christian, Buddhist, Satanist, I think. I don't know.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, so I was trying to learn more too. I don't want to get struck by lightning. You know,
it just starts burning.
I know. Yeah, like, it's hot here. That's why Cody's passed out over here. He becomes like a demon dog. It's demon time over here, you know. But yeah, man, the whole passion, energy thing, man. I love how you mentioned that whole ebb and flow, man. That's why I try to live my life that way, because sometimes it can be tough, man. Honestly, like,
well, and you're gonna have those days where you feel so passionate, and you're gonna have those days where you wake up and you crush the day, and you're like, wow, I ticked off all these things, and now I'm like 20 steps further to my goals, and this was a great day. And you're gonna have the days where you wake up and you go, I don't know if I can do it today. But I think where the passion plays into that kind of cycle between good days, bad days, is you can take steps towards your passion. You can take one step instead of 20. And that's still a step in the right direction. And some days, you're going to crush it. And I don't mean to sound preachy, because I need to hear this myself. I have days where I feel like, I can't do it. But I always try and win at least one thing in the morning, because the momentum builds for me during the day, and I know that. If it's a gym workout, if it's a journal, if it's going for a walk in the morning. And guess what? These don't sound like they're going towards my goal of, let's take goal of being a great actor, being a working actor. They don't sound like they're going towards that goal, but in a roundabout way, and if you think outside the square a little bit, they do. Because if I go for a walk and I feel at peace in the morning, then I'm going to be more centered the rest of the day and make better decisions. And I think little baby steps, going to the gym, that's a huge one for me, because I want to look good in my job. You know, like that's, unfortunately, we live in a world where aesthetics are a thing.
Absolutely, man. Entertainment, man.
Yeah. So if I'm working on my body, then that's a little win for me. And maybe yesterday I had a killer day. I did all the 20 steps that I wanted to do. Did everything I wanted to do. And I was like, today was a good day. The day before that, I can't remember, but let's just say I had one of those days where I was like, this is a hard one today. What do I do? Just get one win. I just try and get one win. And I go, this was better than nothing. This was better than staying in bed for sure. So, and like we said, momentum is probably the force behind succeeding in your passion, and just get a little bit of momentum and think you're better off for that.
It goes a long way. And just like you said, just one win. It stacks so quickly to 2, 3, 4, 5, 10.
Before you feel like a boss.
Exactly.
You're like, wait, I didn't want to do this and I still did it.
Yeah. Especially the hard stuff, man. Yeah, you know, especially waking up early, doing the thing that you got to do.
Yeah.
And also what I like how you mentioned is how even though stuff doesn't seem like it'll go towards your career or your life or anything, it all connects in some way. In some shape way. Or form, you know?
And that's okay if it's not this direct line of sight. If you go off here a little bit, it probably, if you just think about it, it probably does help you in your career in some way, even if it means having a rest so you can come back the next day swinging for the fences. You know, that little rest is a win. And maybe you needed that. You systemically, you needed to chill for the day. That's still a win for you. It's not lauded. It's not like, crushed.
Oh, yes. No studio audience wherever you go.
But for you, if it's enough for you to come back the next day and go, I'm gonna crush this day, I'm already feeling it, then that's a huge step.
And it's addicting, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. That whole like compounding where you're like, damn, this is. I feel unstoppable, man. And especially as an artist, I'm sure you'll agree with this one, man. Doing stuff out of inspiration instead of desperation, man.
That's an interesting one.
Man, it's really a game changer that I've realized, because I'm sure you've seen those people, like we talk about those influencers and all that stuff. When the art just becomes like just to make the money, it's tough, man. It's tough because you just start like, oh yeah, I'm selling water bottles or cups for $50, and you're doing the whole kind of thing. It's not the same as you genuinely doing like the podcast or acting because you actually want to, you know,
you're actually passionate about.
Yeah, exactly, my man.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny you say that, because like you brought up at the start there that, you know, I've been making some content on my Instagram for the Dates with the Dogs.
Dates with the Dogs, I love that.
Dates with the Dogs, just like my work at the shelter, pretty much. And I also have a GoFundMe that I've set up that people have donated towards just for the dogs. And I thought about this kind of a lot.
All right, and we're back to the Patty Show again. Yes, Cody is awake now. The camera had some technical difficulties. Yes. One day we'll have a actual producer and stuff to deal with the Patty. Manifestation.
That'd be the dream.
Man, that's my goal, man. Because, you know, I'm grateful that I'm doing all this tech stuff and learning about everything. But I'm going to be real with you, bro. I wish I could just go on camera and do my thing. Okay? That's what I'm
I think about that as well. And then I'm like, oh God, I'm learning so much. Like when I had to do the editing, when I had to do I'm doing all the producing right now.
Yeah.
But when we had to record it, you know, the first podcast we had was in the library. They have a podcast studio in the library.
Well, which one? Which library?
It's in like downtown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of close here.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you just need to get a library card. You can use it for free.
Oh, I do have a library card. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, there we go. Okay.
So that was our first podcast, and I was like, oh, this is difficult.
I'm telling you, it's the whole. I miss because I mentioned the radio show that I had, bro.
Yeah.
And we made it into a podcast too. It was so nice. We started first with a small studio. But all the equipment was there. I had to learn some of the buttons.
Yeah.
But then the bigger studio, bro, it's like the glass. People can see when they're walking through like the campus center. So it's pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Multiple mics set up, and then you could have calls too, bro.
Right.
Bro, like, you know, in the radio show, like, oh yeah, so who's calling today?
Yeah. Hey, we listen to questions.
Like, any questions over here?
Yeah.
Most of the times it was like my friends. Shout out to my boy Ali, prank calling. He would do some crazy accents, bro. He's Lebanese, so he would try to do some Middle Eastern accent.
Yeah.
He said some out of pocket stuff I can't say on the show.
We'll leave it off the show.
Yes, we love you, brother. Appreciate you. But there was this one episode. Oh man, one of my friends, she was on the podcast. This nursing student, nurse right now too. Shout out to my girl Janaea over there. So she, her uncle called from, I forgot where he was, down south or something like that. she told him how she was gonna be on the show, right? So he calls the number during it. I'm like, who's this? It was like the most wholesome, like older uncle vibe, like the super, like, Is my niece over there, like a little country accent? I can do country accent. That one I can do. Australia, I'm gonna work on that one. But he's like, is my niece Janae over there? I was like, yeah. Who is this? He's like, oh, I'm Uncle. I forget the name of the uncle. But shout out to you, man. He made it a fun time. He just was there to be like, I'm just here to support my niece and everyone have a blessed day. I'm like, that's what life is about.
It's about. That's that's positivity.
That's positivity, and that's passion too. Going back to our talking points of passion. Man.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we're back.
Where were we?
Where were we? We'll find back our track. But identifying, our true passions, man.
Right.
You have a lot of passions out there, man. How can you recognize personally when something is truly one of your passions and not just a passing interest?
Right. Yes. Okay. I think we were touching on this a little bit earlier. So I think you can't know. Personally, I think you can't know unless you try it. And that's totally fine. I don't think you have to. It's like when you're in high school and you're like told that you have to decide what you're going to do for the rest of your life. How can you know? You can't know at that age, right? And I think the same thing is with finding your passion. You can't really know what it is until you put yourself out there and try a bunch of different things.
And you fail a lot, like we mentioned.
Yeah. And if you do something and you're enjoying it for a certain period of time and that passes, great. That's great.
Yeah, press the gas.
Yeah. If you don't want to do it anymore, great. If you find something that you want to do for the rest of your life, excellent. I just don't think there's anything wrong with deciding things, this was just a season thing. This isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life. I think that's excellent if you can come to that conclusion on your own, because that opens you up to try new things and go, okay, where am I going to look for my passion here now? Maybe I'll try this. And that's also why I think it's super important for parents or caregivers to give their kids a bunch of different options.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because we can't know, and say you do get lucky and your kid falls in love with swimming. Yeah. And they're like, oh, this is my
Michael Phelps after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Exactly. But maybe you do have to go through 40 different sports before they find one, and maybe they don't even like sports. Maybe it's guitar. I just think the more you can expose your kids or whoever you've got in your life to more different kind of avenues to express themselves and, enjoy their life with, and they'll find something.
Absolutely. Man,
there's something out there for everyone.
I love that advice, bro, because I wasn't really a travel guy originally. I used to hate planes, to be honest with you, man.
Really?
Yeah, so my little backstory, more on the Patty Show backstory. So my parents are Chinese Indonesian. My dad, at least, Chinese Indonesian. My mom, Indonesian. We went back to Indonesia. I was born in the States around middle school, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. But my dad stayed in the States to work and everything.
Okay.
So every time I think of airports at the time, I was like, separation. I don't see my family, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I go back to the U.S. around 9th grade. I leave my mom. So every time I think about it, I'm like, damn, separation, all that stuff. When my grandparents would come, it would be nice getting them coming to the U.S., but letting them go, man, I was like, damn, airports suck, bro. It's always an emotional thing. Shout out to my ex-girlfriend, actually.
Okay.
This is how we learn from our past relationships, bro. Yeah. So my ex-girlfriend is Puerto Rican. She lived in Puerto Rico and all that stuff. She's one of those people that kind of pushed me to just be like, yeah, we should come to Puerto Rico. So I came one time for a week. Loved the vibe, loved the energy, but it took me a while to get on that plane, bro. Because I was just like,
really?
It was around my sophomore year of college, and I was still kind of had that bad taste in my mouth with flying and the airport and everything. I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to, it just brings back all the bad memories. But when I actually did it, and then I realized, hey, it's not too bad, I went over there once, went again another time. A month, bro. That was a fun time. I gotta go back while I'm single too.
Yeah,
boys trip.
I gotta go.
Hey, man, we get the podcast over there, bro.
That'll be wild.
I don't know if we can record that. To be honest, I don't think we can. But for real, it's the show podcast. Or what is it? The Blondies Out Loud?
up late.
Blondies up late.
After midnight.
For real. But then, obviously COVID happened, bro. And then I haven't seen my mom and a lot of my family for a while, bro. I graduated 2020. Didn't have a graduation.
Damn. That's brutal.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. But the blessing in disguise was I didn't have a job, which sucked also, you know. But then I was like, my mom was like, why don't you just come to Indonesia, see the family? You don't have a commitment really. And I'm like, sure. We figure out all the visa stuff was crazy. I had to do like I don't know if I can say this legally, business visa of some sort. So, you know, I had to do some hoops and stuff essentially.
Because you were doing business.
Yeah, of course. Business, trying to find my ex-wife or whatever. My future ex-wife. So did that whole thing. And when I went to Bali, bro, man, finding people that were just open-minded, trying new things every day, bro. Some people would be serving, doing yoga, doing this, that. Community service was another big thing there. I met this amazing group of like Danish people that were in Indonesia. Shout out to them. Yeah. They had a nonprofit over there helping like underprivileged kids, bro, with like different resources, teaching them about like teaching them English and also like sex education, for example, because in Indonesia they don't talk about that stuff at all, bro. It's like wait before marriage, you know, wait until marriage and all that stuff, and then, you know,
not helpful.
It's definitely not helpful because when you actually do it, it's like you get contracted with different diseases and everything like that. Yeah. So when I was in Bali over there, bro, I just got the travel bug, man, and then I just started traveling more like to Northern Europe. I went over there also because of a girl, you know. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Then did Southeast Asia again with my homie.
Have you done China?
Bro, I gotta go, man. Okay, that's You done China?
I have done China. That's why I asked.
Yeah, see, of course.
Wait, so your dad's part Chinese?
Yeah,
part
bro.
Indonesian.
Yeah, so he's mainly Indonesian, but his dad migrated from China.
Cool.
Essentially, hit on his grandpa, something like that.
Yeah.
But China is something I definitely want to get into. How long were you there for?
2.5 months. Yeah, I backpacked China. Yeah,
brother. See, backpacking is. Everyone has to do it at least once in their life because you're gonna end up doing it like 3 times in your life. It's so addictive, bro. Man.
And I really wanted to do Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, all underneath there, Myanmar. Wanted to do it all. I ran out of money after 2.5 months.
It's hard, bro.
China's cheap. China is so cheap, as are all the other Southeast Asian countries.
Oh yeah.
But still, I ran out of money. Couldn't tack on Vietnam. But
bro, you and me are the same. Actually, I was doing the other way around. Actually, so I started in Indonesia. I did because my mom's in Manado near the Philippines, kind of.
Okay, yeah.
That's where everyone always thinks I'm Filipino because they just more tan, really? All that stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So I took the flight to Singapore. Fun time. Singapore's great. Took a bus to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, bro.
Yeah, that's a big city.
Yeah, it was fun, man. Super advanced too. I was like,
what
the heck?
I've seen the photos.
Better than some places in the States.
Yeah.
And then Phuket, Thailand, bro, and then Bangkok, then went to Bali. I was gonna go to Vietnam.
Okay.
And then money started running out.
Yeah.
You know? And Phuket was too much fun. I recommend it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Bro, I'm sure in China you probably found a place too that you just...
Yeah. I mean, like, I kind of went all over. I did about 4 weeks in a place called Chufu, which is where the Confucius temple is, where Confucius... Yes. Confucius says it was a great city.
Sponsored by Confucius. Sponsored the Patty Show.
While I was there, I studied like Shaolin Kung Fu, and I
told you he was my cousin. What did I say? I told you.
And like learned some of the language while I was there, and then that's when after that 4 weeks of training, I decided to go travel for a bit. So I did Beijing, Shanghai, Qingdao. It was incredible.
Bro, did you do the horse dance then?
Oh yeah,
brother. You see, this is my
horse dance,
brother. My grandpa, he's a Chinese one. This guy, he was wilding because the first time I met him, I wanted to learn, some kung fu and stuff. He's done he's done the Shaolin, wushu a little bit. Yeah, but he was like, before you guys start, you have to do this dance for at least 2 hours. I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, I know the trauma, bro. It's tough.
That's insane.
If you guys don't know the horse dance, basically it's just like legs spread out into a deep squat and just hold it there.
Hold that.
Hold it forever, man. Oh my god.
And like you can.
Yes. Oh, see, bro. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Family right here. See?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's. I mean, talk about mental training on top of physical training. That's crazy.
And you did that trip solo, bro, or?
Yeah, I actually met my good mate in Beijing, and we did Beijing and Shanghai together. So we spent 2 weeks together, but the other 2 months I did by myself. tried some of the most amazing food, some crazy food, saw the most incredible sights, hiked for days on end, ran out of money at one point. Literally, I ran out of money, was left with about $2, 10 kwai, about 2 American dollars, and I had to last on that for 48 hours and before I could get more money. And it was just like such a fun experience.
Bro, and honestly, that's the thing. That whole, especially the solo travel specifically, backpacking on the broke boy budget.
Yeah.
Woo! It's not for everyone to be, because it is stressful. Dude, I know exactly how you feel, bro.
I had no money. All the food I had was a little bag of snacks. And I'd been hiking for this mountain range for about 2 or 3 days. And my last bag of food, I'm hiking along, no one in sight. And then I hear some rustling in the bushes. And what pops right behind me is this decent-sized macaque, which is a type of monkey with fangs probably about that big.
Oh, great. A vampire.
Yeah, pretty much.
There we go.
And I was like, oh, my God, please not now. Anyway, I'm trying to walk faster away from it. It follows me and it's getting real close to my legs and it's trying to get into my backpack. It knows I have food. So what I would do was I'd grab a bar out, like a protein bar or something, take a little bite and then launch the protein bar into the forest. And it looked at me and it was like, you could see the disdain in its face. And its eyes said, oh, I'm going to come back for you. And,
oh my God!
It went off into the bushes.
Yeah.
And I belted down the thing. I ran for 20 minutes. Who showed up behind me after another 20 minutes?
Bro. No.
Same freaking macaque. I, again, ate a bit of a peach and then threw the peach and it was mad. It was mad to the point where it started grabbing at my bag. And I took out all my snacks and I just had to dump my snacks, show the monkey that it was an empty bag. And then it left me alone. Then I never saw it again. But I got mugged, bro, by a macaque for my last bits of food.
Brother.
In the middle of nowhere in Zhangjiajie National Forest. It was crazy.
Well, let me know where the exact forest is so I can never see this macaque again.
This macaque is out for blood, dude.
Brother, they got to put a sign on him. He's he's the gangster over there. Bro, that's insane. And the fact that it has the intelligence to be like, hey, bro.
Oh.
You can't trick me now.
Dude, you should have. Its eyes said all of those things. And I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble now.
Man, shout out to traveling, man. But going back to
passionate about traveling.
Oh, man, traveling is so fun, man.
I think everyone needs to get a good little
out, especially out of their bubble, man. That's the thing. That's the only thing with especially the American culture a lot. People like to stay in the States and usually just oh, I'm in Connecticut, I'm gonna be here for the rest of my life.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot actually. A lot of my people in my hometown or whatever, people usually just kind of stay in their vicinity and sometimes people like the comfort, but I'd recommend highly for it. And I'm sure you would agree with this.
Totally.
Get out of your comfort zone. Literally physically literally in another country, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, and hey, go to America if you come to LA.
Come to LA. Maybe take your time during this process right now.
But
take your time. But man, when I fell in love with the travel, that's the passion I never knew I would have, and it really ignited other of my passions, like having fun with surfing, meeting more people, and learning.
I guess the passion for people is an interesting one. Why don't you talk more about that? Because it's a similar thread I see for people who travel is they have I think they have a more compassion for people. Is my sense. Do you see that?
Bro, absolutely. He's reading my mind. I told you, he's my cousin. He's already Chinese now, too. He's Chinese, Indonesian, everything, It's gonna be, Chinese, Indonesian, Australian.
That's it.
There we go.
Everything.
Everything. Man, I love how you mentioned that, the passion for people. That's what I think I've come to realize why I love, being a presenter and a host. Just connecting with people, man. I don't care whatever background it is, because growing up, I've always been, I guess the odd one out. When I was in Connecticut, man, it's basically, a lot of white people or Hispanic, Black community. Really hard to find any other Indonesians or especially Asian people out there. So always kind of had to adapt, And then going to Indonesia, for example, even though I looked like everyone, my accent was so American, bro. And they called me the bule, the foreigner.
Is that what that means?
Yeah. I'm sure they probably told you that. They people, the bule, So they usually use it in more I wouldn't say derogatory, but kind of. Now it's more chill.
Okay.
But before it used to be the bullying thing. Hey, the bully, all that stuff. Getting all that stuff,
Yeah.
But that's why, like, my first podcast with my homie Akbar, our show was called the DAE show, Does Anyone Else show. So every week we ask like the question, does anyone else think the same and or differently than us with different topics?
Interesting.
But it's just to show that, like, despite, all our differences, different walks of life, we're like more connected than we think. And that's something I've always had a passion for, to connect people. Like the fact that we're in this room, bro, completely different backgrounds, even though we're cousins.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? Completely different backgrounds, but there's those threads that bring us together. Obviously, like, work brought us together, but then, the passion for like entertainment, helping other people and just connecting with human beings, man. That's the beauty of it. And that's why it's easy that's why I'm grateful that I have this podcast too, because I can connect to a lot of people. Totally. And it's just like a great memory bank too, because I love looking back at old episodes.
Look at all the episodes you've done and be like, wow, I got to speak to some incredible people.
Oh yeah, man. And the growth too, man. And the passion for just people, man. Oh man, it's maybe that's just my extrovert self, bro. But like during COVID, for example, it was hard, man.
Oh god, bro. And that's tough.
At that time too, because I was supposed to graduate that May. I was a resident assistant on campus, so like a student leader, dealing with all the crazy college kids and everything. It's paid for my housing, so that helped a lot. Shout out to that. But bro, I stayed on campus because even though I was nearby locally with my family, I wanted to save money because they got food over there, and then my dad was home, and he's like one of the more like at-risk populations over there. So I was like, I'll stay here. But bro, it was crazy being in that room, just like, 4 walls, just like literally no one on campus, literally only a couple people, some of my homies.
Sad, dude. Like,
it was tough. So the timing of like traveling again made me realize like, damn, I feel so fueled being with people that are good energy, good vibes. Like you, for example, flowers. It's easy, man, to talk with you, for example, because the positive energy, it's not fake. It's, in Indonesian, we call it munafik.
Munafik.
Oh, see, you got a great Indonesian accent. Munafik it's kind of like when someone is hypocritical, two-faced, and like we talked about earlier about how like, you're like, oh, great. What was it, the poppy?
Yeah, tall poppy syndrome in Australia.
Tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah.
Where like it's someone's doing great stuff, and then you said you
feel like you have to bring them down.
Yeah, to humble them. And then sometimes people go a little overboard or whatever, but I feel like we need more people that are just encouraging people.
Yeah, and I think I'm glad you touched on that, because it's so funny. Daxton and I spoke about this really recently as well, but it's kind of relevant. Is false positivity is, I mean, I guess people phrase it as toxic positivity or whatever it's called. It can be just as dangerous, I think. Like you need to accept that there are going to be good days and bad days. You can lean more in the positive direction. I think that's super healthy.
Yeah.
Accepting that there are going to be tough times, but finding silver linings is, if you accept the reality and try and find the silver linings and positivity moving forward, then that's strength. If you cannot see the struggles that are happening in front of your very face, just for going, no, everything's fine, everything's good, I'm always good.
Yeah.
And that is just it's such a dangerous way to live, man.
It is,
I've seen it, and I'm just like, it's not nice to be around false positivity. So I'm glad you brought that up, because it's important to be genuine with your positivity.
I think that's the key point too. That like being genuine is, oh my god, that's a superpower in itself, and it's hard. Like this industry we love. Shout out LA, we love you, LA. But there's a lot of that's the team.
All the different folk around these parts.
Yes. Some people not as genuine as others. A lot of fake people, like we mentioned in scheduling stuff. They're like, let's hang out.
Does it ever eventuate?
Yeah, it never happens. It never happens. But yeah, man, that false like negative, or whatever the term is.
Yeah, whatever. We know what it means.
Yeah. Because I've also been in that trap too, where I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be great, good. I'm oldest of 6, bro. So it's like sometimes I feel like I have to have that responsibility of showing my best face. Yeah, bro. And it's draining, bro. You know, sometimes some days you're gonna be like, man, get this, man. This is not. It's not that good. But finding the silver blonde lining.
Yeah,
the blonde lining. Sounds like it. Okay.
I'm gonna steal that from
please,
the Patty show.
Please. Yeah, you tag me on the show, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Blonde lining. I think that's the key, to be honest, because in the heat of the moment, I'm sure there's always gonna be some crappy stuff, whatever it is. Like
totally,
life is crazy. This world right now, there's a lot of crazy stuff. But if you find that the blonde lining, it just makes things better. And I was watching this podcast from Steve Bartlett, Diary of a CEO.
I do know Steve Bartlett, yeah.
Yeah. He has so many. This guy's locked in inspiration. He has like episode. I started from the episode 1. Now I'm on like his release in 2022 right now. So
oh my God,
it's gonna take me a while to get to right now because he does it every week. This brother.
That's all I catch up.
I'm having you on the show.
Yeah, get Bartlett on.
But there was this one guy that I think he worked in Google.
Okay.
And he wrote a book about how the passing of his son, even though it sucked, whatever, he wanted to think of it as like him living his life for his son instead of like grieving too much for it. Obviously, there's a time and place for like grief, when someone passes away and all that stuff.
Essential.
But which is very essential. Like when I was in Indonesia, for example, I talk about it in one of my previous episodes, but when I traveled to Indonesia that time, bro, I was there to surprise my grandpa.
Oh.
And then it was during COVID and everything. He was normal. Everything was good. We were calling him on the phone, trying to surprise him, go to another island. The trip was supposed to be like a weekend trip, bro. Me and my mom just visiting the other island. My 2 siblings were in school. And we were like, okay, nothing of it. We go to the church and this guy surprised us. He's like super sick. The person that was in front of the church was like, oh, he's been sick for like the past week. And we're like, what? No one told us or whatever. A lot of other drama, crazy, like family, crazy drama that happens. But I remember taking him to the hospital, bro. He's like sitting on my lap. And bro, it was crazy seeing that like kind of like lifeless on my lap. Because he was one of those guys that always cheerful, full of energy. Whenever I seen him growing up, he's the one that would always go back and forth to Indonesia and all that stuff to America and stuff like that. And I remember talking to him in Indonesian. He wasn't really responsive, but then when I started talking in English, for some reason, like he just was like kind of like a little bit of nods and like more grunting to my stories and everything. And obviously we stayed there for over a month, making sure he was okay and everything, and passed away unfortunately. But thanks, man. But it taught me a lot about life, and it was kind of like in the moment I sucked, bro, because I really wanted him to tell him all the stories like in college, like, hey man, I was talking to this girl, I was doing this, having fun and everything. But it would also gave me more life when I was traveling, bro. When I went to Bali after,
really,
I just had more appreciation for life because I'm like, man, I'm living not just for me but for him, man. Really? I want to experience more things. I want to be a good person just like him, and even better, because he was like one of those guys, bro. Like if there was a homeless guy and he had like $0, he's gonna find money somehow and give it to him.
Wow,
so selfless, bro. Like one of those people that I grab a lot of inspiration from. I try to get a lot of positive energy, I know I'm a little wild. My grandpa, he knows. He saw. Let's say I went to Thailand after I got baptized. So he knows that. Sorry, Opa. I love you, brother. But yeah, man, I feel like finding like the blonde lining. I love that.
Yeah, that's great.
Of things, it helps a lot. Like really, because if I didn't have that, bro, I think about it now. Like going back. Imagine I went to Bali, one of the most beautiful places in the world, and I was still like, just like, man, super like, just thinking about all the bad stuff, all the bad stuff. Like, damn, I don't deserve to be here. I don't have to do whatever, imposter syndrome too, and everything. I wouldn't have the same experiences, the same connections like that I would have if I didn't have.
How much you grew from that?
Absolutely, man.
I have, something similar that happened during that divorce period. We already spoke about it, but like, I kind of decided during that point, like, how was I going to come out of this, right? And I thought, what does failing coming out of a divorce look like? And I came up with like 5 different things. I came up with, well, I'd probably drink a lot. If I failed a divorce, I probably wouldn't work out. I'd probably let my career go down the toilet. I'd probably not talk to any of my friends or family and just sit in silence and depression. And I would probably go home to Australia and be around safety. And I thought, okay, if that's what failing this really hard time looks like, what does it look like to actually come out better? And what does it look like to actually win?
Yeah.
Win a really shitty thing.
Yes.
And I decided, wait, if I just do the opposite of these 5 things. So I already wasn't drinking. just because I don't enjoy it that much.
Yeah, my ankles hurt, bro, whenever I drink. I can't, bro.
So I just decided, well, I'm just going to continue not to drink.
Okay.
I'm not going to take up drinking again for however long, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll work out more. And you know what? I'll put a little bit more effort into my career, actually, to my social media or whatever it is. I'll put that in. And you know what? I'll talk about my feelings with my family, with my friends, and what's going on because they care about me. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to go home to the safety of Australia where I have lots of people to love and take care of me. I'm going to figure this shit out on my own. Mm-hmm. And all I did was those 5 things. I just decided I would do those 5 things and I would come. If I did them, maybe I had a chance of coming out a better person and stronger for the experience. And I feel like I succeeded in that. And I'm super proud I made that decision early on of going, that's what a failure looks like. And that's what a win looks like.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do that thing and see what happens. And you know, it takes a long time to get over something as traumatic as that. You know, it was a surprise to me. It was left of field for me. So it was
completely changed your life. Yeah, man, yeah.
But I feel like I could, if something bad happened in my life now, I could handle it a lot more. And I have the blessing, and I don't want to sound like we said, I don't want to sound falsely positive because it was a really hard time.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine, bro.
But now I look back and I go, I have the strength that other people might not have now because I've gone through something really hard and come out on the other side even better. I can be there for my family when something happens.
That part.
You know, like my parents passed away, inevitable for everyone. I can be there for my siblings. I know how to handle these things now, and what a freaking blessing. And I am grateful for going through it, you know, even though it was hard. So like you and your granddad, hard times, but think about the experience you had traveling. That was thanks to him and the experience and the hardship. So it's the blonde lining.
There you go, the blonde lining, man.
Of shitty situations.
Absolutely, man. And that's the thing. You have a choice. And this is why I like I don't want to, like, being preachy can be tough, but sometimes you just got to tell people, because I need this reminder too.
Yeah.
When it's like tough, you know.
I tell this to myself because I need it. Yeah.
We have a choice to be happy or not be happy from like the decisions you said. Like you could do those 5 things. Like, oh, after the divorce, I'm just going to drink.
Yeah.
I'm not going to work out. Oi, oi, oi. We going back to Aussie, baby. You know, and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Or you can be like, all right, I have more time now. I can get an extra run in today.
Yeah.
You know, I can focus more on the career, get a new manager. Or?
Oh, yeah, I need one.
Oh, so yeah. Hit me, where are the new managers at? Yeah, I did see you were like,
I'm putting it out there.
That's
good. Feelers out there,
of course. You got to do this in this industry. You have to manifest, and you also have to say it too.
That's it.
So where's the manager? We need to get him great auditions for.
Let's go.
What's the dream audition role though?
Dude, I really want to be in a war film.
You crazy?
I'd love to be in a war film. I want to be in the mud. I want to have the face paint on. I want to have like the old school like sniper rifle. Put me in a World War II film somewhere.
There we go. Like, what's that film on 19? What's it called?
Oh yeah, 19? It's a date.
It's one of the years. It's one of the years.
It's one of the years in 19.
Yeah, bro. Like, shout out to all the film buffs out there. I love actors that know all the films, bro. I don't watch a lot of it.
Okay, but here's my theory on that.
Okay.
Do you have to watch all the films to be a good actor? This is what I'm
Good
debating.
question.
Good question for the audience.
Yes.
I'm not. I think you have to study the greats, but being on top of all the latest films, I'm not sure it's as important as other people give weight to it.
Thank you, brother.
I'm not sure how much it's going to change your performance ability,
bro. I completely agree. I think everyone's different because some people are just like, bro, I don't know how they watch like the 50 different movies that are out. And remember, these are movies. These aren't short films. Yeah. Some of them are 3 hours. Yeah. Like, I barely have 3 hours to myself.
And like, if it's in the cinema, you have to spend half an hour getting ready, half an hour getting to the cinema,
working,
half an hour getting
everything.
And the money, you got to pay for the man.
Respect. I don't know how people do it, but I love how you asked that question. I mean, it's the same like for like the best basketball players out there or any type of athlete. They don't watch all.
The more you can get out on the court, the better you're gonna get. You're not gonna get good playing basketball just from watching games.
Or just playing the video game. Yeah, But that's also, and it goes back to the whole taking that leap kind of thing, you know. And taking that big move. I'm glad that you did that big move to the US and everything, bro. You honestly learn a lot from just doing it.
For sure.
Shout out Nike. Just do it.
Shia LaBeouf.
Just do it. You're gonna get sponsored by the Patty Show, Nike. But it's one of the advice that I hear all the time, but it's so true, bro. You honestly learn so much from, like we mentioned, the failing, but just living. Yeah. Whatever that is, like when you were in China with the macaque, you said?
Macaque, yeah.
Now he's never going to go near one.
I will run for my life.
The second you see one, he's running.
Yeah.
Like
I'm throwing my food.
Yeah, bro, that's still so funny, man. Like, I can't believe that actually happened.
It's funny,
Cody, don't go crazy now. But yeah, living life, man, is one of the biggest hacks out there.
I think you're right that just throwing yourself in the deep end, as scary as that is so important. Like, think about it with the podcast. Like, how many episodes have you done? God,
this is 44 right now.
Damn, that's a lot. We're like, we've just recorded our 33rd, and I literally said to my mate the other day, I was like, we've learned every lesson you can learn in 33 episodes. Every single episode, there's a new lesson to learn. Like our video messed up for some reason. Now we know not to use that feature again.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to do it. You can't know all the things that you now know. Yeah. Doing 44 episodes, you have so much knowledge compared to someone who's done 0 because you jumped in. And someone who jumps in for the first time isn't going to be at episode 44 quality that you are. Yeah, and it's high, and it's really bloody high, mate.
You too, man. But that's the thing. It's that first step, that first like leap is always the scariest. I remember this is me just going back because my 1 year anniversary of the podcast, I think it's September or something like that. It's coming up, bro. It's quick. Thank you, my man. I remember exactly like so much hesitancy I had, bro, before like. I was already like, oh man, what do I do? Like, I had a Google Doc with ideas already and names, and I'm like, oh man, do I do this or not? I've had this camera way before, bro. Like maybe 3 or 4 years already.
Just sitting around,
bro. Yeah, because I was like, I'm like, I'm tapping my phone. I'm like, what do I do? And then I just kind of was like, man, forget this. I'm just gonna do it. My first episode was my best friend when he was visiting in LA. It was perfect timing too.
Right.
And then I was like, it's not the most perfect. We didn't have this set up to the audio. We had something else. I forgot what it was. One of the other mics. I forgot. I found on Amazon. Right. Another one. And then different. I think I was sitting on that side too. It's like the little things, Like now I've kind of like had like a formula in now, and it's just like so much smoother. Obviously, there's still hiccups. Like just recently, we had that because we had too much passion.
See? Essential.
Yeah, of course. And you just keep learning and you just keep growing. But I'm glad I took that step. And that's one of those things where sometimes you just gotta do it, man.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the theme of this episode. Just try many different things, especially like
you'll figure out. Yeah. You'll figure out what your passion is along the way, and you'll figure out how to get better at it.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. And then especially moving, like you mentioned, moving to a new, completely different city, place, country, pursuing a career that's cutthroat.
Yeah. it's got to do it. Just jump in and guess what? You'll survive if you want to survive. It's like if you're not meant to be here, then that's fine. It's not an issue. If you decide that your passion has changed, then that's great for you. It means you're not wasting your time in something you're not passionate about. Like, there's no situation where, as long as you are taking steps forward, there's no situation that isn't good from that point on. Whether you continue in your passion, whether you decide it's no longer for you, both are good scenarios for you as a human being. And you're not going to figure that out until you take those steps and jump in. So may as well jump in, get it over with.
Man, that's amazing, man. And that's perfect for our final talking point of the show, man. We've been vibing over here, man. I love this. Overcoming setbacks to keep passion alive. Okay. What happens when obstacles get in the way of your different passions? Like, for example, with acting, man. I know we did talk about a lot about setbacks this episode, which is all part of life. But how do you like react to them now, being way more mature, learning from all those mistakes? You definitely touched on it a little bit, but could you elaborate more on that?
I actually see them now, and this is so different these days, but I see them as an opportunity, less than a setback. Like an opportunity to prove to yourself that you won again. And this was supposed to bring me down, but guess what? I won. I won that one. And this thing was really supposed to stop me in my tracks and destroy my dreams. But I beat that. And so now I guess when there's setbacks, it's become more of a challenge to me to how quickly I can bounce back rather than, this is dragging me down. Because I guess this is touching on the topics we've already spoken about, that the setbacks are inevitable.
Absolutely.
There's no one in this world who gets to avoid them. You don't.
You could be a billionaire. You could be the Pope. Like
there will be something for you that you have to deal with, that will challenge you, that will attempt to destroy you. It's inevitable for every human being. And the sooner you get to those, the luckier you are. The sooner those come at you, the better for you. So jump in 2 feet at a time, get all the challenges at all the points, bring them on, defeat them, and then get to the next challenge, get to the next level.
Bro.
You know?
I love it. It's that growth mindset right there. Yeah. And I think also that's why he's still so young. 27, right? 27?
That's right.
27, you know? Mentally, 27, of course, and everything like that. You know?
Still baby.
Sad dude. You know? Sad dude. But that's literally the only way you can grow is once you overcome challenges.
Well, think about it. If you don't overcome it, you move on to something else. Whether that's losing or not, I think that's more of a change of direction. But you either get through it, or you change course. And I am choosing this path. So if I'm going to get over it, I may as well hurry up and figure out how to get over it, because I'm going to the other side. So I may as well try and get there fast. Deal with the problems head on. I'm going that way. The setbacks will come. I will deal with them really as promptly as I possibly can. And if there's something that's going to stop me, then I guess that's fine. I'm going this way now. But yeah, I think don't be afraid of them, and don't be afraid to tackle them with full force and destroy them, and come out the other side feeling like a freaking boss.
Come on now.
Like, come out the other side going, I'm a boss, bro. Like, I handled that shit. The next thing's going to be hard, sure. But guess what? I have evidence that I'm a freaking boss.
Evidence.
Let's go.
I love how you mentioned the evidence, because that's what life is. You get evidence from all the different stuff that you've done, and you realize, oh, I'm him.
Yeah.
You know, I can handle this. I've done this before.
Yeah.
It's a different situation, but now I can use the elements that from the evidence before, like, oh, I handled this divorce. Oh, that's easy. I can handle this little breakup.
You know the skills.
You know, you got it. You got the tool belt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that, damn, man, I love evidence, man. That's inspirational, man.
Yeah. I'm loving this. This is my jam.
I know he's killing it over here, man.
I'm passionate about being passionate.
There we go. But that's why I love the show, man. I just get to connect with people, and then you're teaching so much. I'm learning so much, man.
I'm learning from you, my dude. So
I appreciate it. Arigato, man. Arigato. Japan trip soon, you know? All the trips. We just got to list all the trips.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Oh, my. Okay.
What's that mean?
I think...
hello, how are you?
I think Ohio is good morning, I think.
Is it? Ohio gozaimasu?
Something like that. So I forget. I have a couple of clients that are
What
Japanese.
do they say when you come into the sushi shop? They shout something every time you go into the sushi place. Do you remember what it is?
Bro, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna get. So let's cut this part out. I can't lose my Asian card, brother. Come on, you're already more Asian than me. You went to China before me.
He's gonna lose his Asian
I'm gonna lose my Asian card, bro. This brother went to China.
Don't listen, Cody.
I don't, Cody. I'm Asian. I promise.
He's very Asian. It's okay.
I promise. Oh man. So my final question, bro, for this little section: how do you reignite your passion when it feels like it's fading?
I think. Fading probably means you're doing it a little less, in my mind. That's how I take that. So I guess just try and do it more, in the sense, let's put it into an acting perspective for me. I would want to get into a class. The more I'm in class, the more I want to get better. And I come in one week and I don't nail it the way I want to. So the next week I'm going to go, I need to do better. I want to do better. I'm going to do better here. Then that kind of builds, like we were talking about the momentum before. I think just if you've decided this is your thing, like I've decided acting is my thing, I'm in a lull right now where I loathe auditioning. I despise auditioning.
It's tough, bro. I hate it too.
I have a lot of problems with the audition process in general, that's another podcast.
Oh my God, yeah, bro.
But yeah, I don't enjoy it unless it's a really great script. In which case, I'm like, oh, I'm fired.
I can play with this.
I'm fired up for this one. So maybe that's stealing passion from other people, like the writer. Maybe that's okay. You can borrow other people's passion, which is fine. Like, you're super passionate about this. I've come in and we've both kind of like leveled each other up in this conversation.
We're renting the passion.
Yeah, renting the passion from each other.
Maybe forget Blockbuster and all those DVD rentals. Passion rental.
Renting passion rentals. Like, I think that's what we've done here today is we, kind of hype each other up in a way. Yeah. Just the conversation we're talking about. Maybe with the auditioning, it's me borrowing the passion from a writer who's passionate and I can see it in their words. That's exciting. If a director comes back with some notes for me and goes, hey, I want you to try this one and actually learn this scene instead, I'm like, ooh, they actually care.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
Ooh, so maybe borrowing passion from others is beautiful. Just as fine, as well as I think just getting back into it and doing it some more. For me, that's getting into acting class and doing it more.
And it goes back to energy, man. You know what they say in science? Energy can't be created or destroyed. So the passion, energy is everywhere around us. You just got to find it there. I feel like a scientist. Look at that.
And it'll come
Dr.
back.
Patty. Yeah, of course. And I think the biggest tip for me personally, like, for example, when the days I felt like I didn't want to record a podcast episode, I'm like, all right, why don't you just record one more episode?
Dope.
Right? Just one more.
Yeah.
And the second I do that, I finish it, I'm like, I'm already hitting up the next people. I'm like, okay, let's go this episode of this.
That's the ticket, dude. Like, just getting that little win. Just getting that little step up.
Yes, bro. Yes.
And then you got this motivation all of a sudden. You're like, wait, I can do hard things.
Yeah, bro. It's addicting, bro. Like, literally, because I have another episode tomorrow. It's going to be a fun one, y'all. I can't tease who's the guest, but...
Tell me.
He'll tell me
after
Show
this.
Podcast, yeah. But I love when the best is when it's like stacked back to back. Because I'm telling you, the passion, the energy, and literally the energy is all around. And like you mentioned this episode, man, it's just like overflowing. It just feels so organic, bro. Yeah. In the best way possible, man. That's what we love. The passion, man. It's the entertainer over here, right? The actor over here. I love how you mentioned the auditioning, though, bro. Because also, I think I told you this, but my brother's making the short film. Right?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. You did. I
shout out, y'all.
Yeah, that looks unreal.
Yeah, it's a fun one, man. So it has some elements of our life a little bit. See, so it's gonna be a funny one when it finally comes out. But obviously, dramatize, make it more fun and everything. It's based in the restaurant, and we're seeing some self-tapes now already, right? And that's when I kind of had like that perspective thing, like, oh, this is tough, bro.
Right.
But then also I've come to realize, okay, now I know what I can do better with my self-tapes, like how I can make it quick. Because even though I do hate self-tapes and everything, I'm not going to lie to you.
It's funny being on the other side, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I get why maybe I need to work harder because it's like a second or two, man. They look at you. You don't even have to say a word.
Yeah.
And they already make the judgment because that's just how it is. And I get it too because we already had, thankfully, a lot of people that are like submitting and stuff. But we can't look at, to be honest, we can't look at the whole tape. Like.
This is one of the problems I have with auditioning.
Yeah,
like,
it's tough.
I have many problems with it. But the main one is why send me 3 scenes and 12 pages of dialogue if you're going to turn me off after 3 seconds? Just go off my picture. I think, hot take.
Let's go.
I think initial auditions should be at most a slate.
I agree.
Do I like the way he looks? Do I like the way he presents on camera?
How he talks?
Do I like the way he talks? Does he fit the character just in general? Could he fit the character? Then you eliminate probably 75% of the people.
And it's better for both parties.
The casting process is such a waste of time for actors. Waste of time for actors. The only people who are wasting their time are actors because the casting director will just click through. Yeah. They're not wasting their time.
No, and I've seen it, bro, because we were clicking through. I felt so bad, but I'm like, but it's hard too because like finding you kind of have to do it, but then like you mentioned, maybe they just need to do that. And it's also like the job process too for anything.
But then once you get down to the 25%, that's when you go, hey, I'm going to send you a 1-page scene. Or even better, I'm going to send you a monologue. So you don't have to go out of your way to find a reader.
He got the team.
And then when you go to third auditions, that's when they have to find a reader. But then you've got it down to 10 people.
Exactly.
And you haven't wasted think about all the man hours between every single actor that waste their time auditioning for not even being looked at. I'm passionate about this.
No, I can tell, bro. No, I felt it, man. And it's also tough when you're juggling other different stuff and volunteering other work to make ends meet and everything. And it's literally taking time out of your day. And most of the time it's like $0.
Yeah, exactly.
And then $100 of stress. You know, like, bro, it's the crazy thing. The worst is, like you said, the partner reading when you don't have someone read it for you. And I've tried these apps; they suck.
They don't just can't.
Terrible, bro.
There's like a hierarchy of readers. This is getting super nerdy. Sorry, I hope actors are watching this because it's getting super nerdy. But there's a hierarchy of reader, right? The best reader is a professionally trained actor.
Yeah, they know what they're doing
in the room with you. Then the hierarchy goes down to someone who's not an actor but is in person. Mm-hmm. Then it goes down to an actor on Zoom. Then it goes down to a non-actor on Zoom. Then it goes down to you re-recording your own voice.
Bro, I've done that.
I've had to do it.
Bro,
it's the worst.
Bro.
So let's just cut the shit.
Yeah, man. Oh my God.
Let's just make the audition process beneficial for everyone, including the actors who are giving up their time. That's my soapbox.
I love. No, bro, I'm glad because I have the same opinion, man. And the thing and between those different hierarchies, there's also like, we love our friends, of course, friends and family, but the ones that have like no acting experience, bro, it makes it so hard. I'm sorry. I don't want to call anyone.
They're doing great, and you wouldn't be able to do it without them.
Yeah,
but there's just a difference between an actor and an actor.
Because you know, especially if it's a scene that's like there's the passion between the two characters. How can I convey it if the homie's like, how are you today? Like, it's tough. Exactly. It's tough. Yeah. Sometimes you have to make do. You know. How was your audition process for the Finding Mr. Christmas, by the way?
It was kind of long. There were probably 3 auditions I did separately over
in person or
no, all of them were over Zoom.
Okay.
And I had probably 3 meetings in between those and final meetings and stuff like that. So, it was kind of long and drawn out, but they weren't hard scenes and scenes that were good for me. The interviews were fine.
Oh man.
Yeah. I actually made the casting director cry in my meeting because I had to explain, like, they asked kind of like what's going on, and I mentioned the things and losing my dog, and she was like, I can't imagine losing my dog, and she was crying in my thing.
Shout out to the casting director.
And she was like, yeah, I saw her a couple of weeks ago. She was like, yeah, as soon as I started crying, I was like, oh God, he's in.
Well, that's our first choice over here. We got it.
That's acting right
there. That's acting right there, you know? Acting, but also not acting.
Yeah, acting from a place of truth.
No, but man, that's also what I've realized, like, living life experiences, it's helped me a lot become a better, like, presenter and host and entertainer, bro. Like, that's why I just want to keep traveling and experiencing new things. I'm grateful, like, that whole COVID stint that I traveled more instead of, like, working the 9-to-5 job, you know? Like, even though money was tough, bro. You know, woo, man, that was tough. But I'm so grateful because I can literally go back to those moments and talk about it on the podcast.
Yes.
Other people's shows and everything like that. So
think about the stories you've shared just today.
Man, we got a lot more coming.
Based on your experiences. Yeah.
Maybe on the Blondies podcast.
That's it. and this show's going to, I think, 50 episodes is coming right up.
Oh, amen. It's coming soon.
50th birthday's coming soon.
Oh, man, it's coming soon, man. That's going to be a fun episode. I already planned it.
You should do a little party.
Oh, Patty party?
The party!
The Patty pleasure party.
After dark.
Oh, after the show.
Turn it off.
For real, man. Oh, my God, man. Well, man, I had too much fun today, man.
This was so great.
Thank you. The GOAT, bro. I appreciate you greatly, man. What are your socials again?
Hit me up. Hayden B. Maher, Maher.
Maher. Why is it pronounced that way? I thought it was
I say that in an American accent.
Okay, I thought it was Maher.
No, it is. Look, in an Australian accent, it's Ma, Hayden Maher. But in an American accent, it's Hayden Maher. And I think that sounds better.
I don't know why I said Maher.
Maher. Like, you know the TV presenter Bill Maher?
Yeah.
Oh. That's the exact same spelling. So it's Hayden B. Maher.
Okay.
On Instagram. Check us out at Blondies Out Loud. On Insta, on YouTube, on wherever you get your pods.
All of it, you know. And of course, you can find us at Patty Show Podcast, TikTok, Facebook, Tinder.
You cheeky devil.
hints, all that stuff.
The Patty Show on Tinder.
Of course, that'd be so funny. Actually, I do have a picture with me on the podcast. So
no way, that's great.
If you know, you know. But yeah, you can find us at pattysetziati.com/podcast for all the stuff. pattyshow.podbean.com. And yeah, man,
this has been so good. Say goodbye to
Cody. Cody, say bye.
Say adieu.
He's a little cutie over there. Bro, I appreciate you again. Bottom of my heart, you're the best man. We're going to end with a little sheshe at the end.
Sheshe.
Oh, see, he knows. I'll tell you my brother, man. Sheshe. Yes. Oh, there we go. On three, bro. 1, 2, 3. Sheshe. Oh, there we go.
Family hug.
There we go. Love you, brother. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you, man.
What's up? Thanks for joining me on this episode of The Patty Show. I hope you had as much fun as I did exploring the crossing point of the 3 Ps: passion, pleasure, and positivity. If you want to keep the Patty Party going, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and all social platforms at Patty Show Podcast. Share this episode and leave a positive review. PattySetziati.com/podcast, as well as pattyshow.podbean.com have got more of your Patty Show needs. In the meantime, keep passionately pursuing your personal paradise. Arigato.